Hey, Matt Matherson here with Math Madness. Thank you for joining for another exciting episode of Math Madness.
Hey, Matt, you still got your bib on.
I guess I do. Okay, well, we're off to a solid start, I see. Okay, well, let's try this again. Hey, I'm Matt Matherson here with Math Madness. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Now, today we're going to be talking about logarithms. More specifically, how we can use logarithms to find out how long it'll take us to reach a financial goal. We all have financial goals. Let's hope we do. So how are we going to reach them? With logarithms. So let's see what we can do right now. Okay, so we know that we want to have $1,000 is our goal in our particular case because we're going to be taking our honey bunny, our schnoogers, our schmuckins, our, I don't know, whatever we have code names for our loved ones anymore. Anyway, we're going to be taking our significant other on a glorious, fantastic, all around the world cruise for $1,000. Don't ask me how we do it on a grand. I have no idea. But anyway, the $1,000 is our financial objective. So let me just write that down so we don't forget that. Let me write that a little bit neater. I'm going to be having a little bit of a, let's see. Now we've got 1,000 over here. Well, we got $1,000 we want to reach, but we're off to a rocky start. We've had a rough month, so we're starting off with $20, okay? So we want to know how many weeks it's going to take us to reach $1,000. Well, Matt, can't we just say $1,000 divided by 20? You could if I wasn't going to throw this monkey wrench into the whole program. Here's the monkey wrench. Yes, we are off to a very, very slow start. $20 we said, right? However, we have a secret weapon that we can triple our money every week. Hence why we're using logarithms today. How does that look? Looks something like this, right? So we said we've got $20 we're starting off with. We know we're going to triple our money every week. That gives us our 3 here. We want to know how many weeks it's going to take for us to get to the $1,000. Ergo, we have to utilize the exponent. I know you've seen the exponent. Don't be scared. Essentially, doesn't that make it a little more friendly? We've seen this. This is a pretty basic equation. It looks scary maybe, but it's really not. So let's get down to solving this monster. You ready? Here we go. So we know we've got $1,000 we want to reach, okay? And we know that that is equal to $20 multiplied by 3 because we're tripling our money every week. Well, we want to find out how many weeks. Just basic algebraic operations, right? We want to whittle it down to isolate the n because that's what we're solving for. Well, we know the 20 is being multiplied to the 3, don't we? Right. Can we get rid of the 20? Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the 20 real quick. So what does that do? Well, it gets rid of the 20s on the right-hand side. And over here, 1,000 divided by 20, yeah, that just gives us 50. No big deal, right? And that is going to be equal to 3 multiplied by some number. This some number, remember, is the number of weeks it will take for us to reach our $1,000 goal. Now, for those of you who have worked with logarithms before, this isn't anything new. It's nothing scary at all. You know that this is your base, and for those of you who don't know, this is what's called your base. This is called your argument, and this is going to be the number that spits out once you perform the logarithmic operations. And that's what we're going to do right now. Now, if you can't change the base, if you've got a scientific calculator and it will let you change your base, go ahead and do that. Plug in the 3 for your base, plug in the 50 for your argument, and out pops the number of weeks it takes for us to get to $1,000. For those of you who have worked with logarithms, you're probably already on to your next television show. Good for you. Those of you who have not done this before, stick around. We're going to solve this right now. So what you're going to see on your smartphone or your scientific calculator, if you can't change your base, you're going to be relegated to these 2 options. And that's going to be a log 10 and what's called a natural log. All right? That's ln, and this is usually left to the log 10. So let's talk about the log 10 first. If you use the log 10, this is how it's going to shake out for you, okay? You just hit the button that says log 10. Then it's going to give you an open parentheses like this. Then you're going to put the 50 in. And then you're going to have to close the parentheses though yourself, okay, to get the right answer. So you hit your division line, hit your division on your calculator after that, and then you're just going to type in the log 10 again. It's going to give you the open parentheses, and then you're going to have to type in the base of 3 here, okay? You'll do that, and after you've set this up properly, you'll hit equals, and that should just spit out 3.56, okay? Now, same thing here with the natural log. If you're not using the log 10 here and you're using the natural log, and you can, either one of these will work, okay? Just so that you know. There's no right or wrong here. So take your natural log, and it's going to give you an open parentheses like so. You're going to type in your 50. You're going to have to close your parentheses, hit your division mark on your calculator, and then again, hit the natural log. It's going to give you the open parentheses. You're going to make the base 3. You're going to hit your equals, and it should spit out 3.56 as well. Okay? Relatively simple, right? So don't be scared to use it. You will see a lot of people on TikTok doing a lot of logarithms and exponents, and they all do phenomenal work. I love a lot of these people. Just great, great work they do. But this is actually something that you can use in your day-to-day life. Does this look a little bit like compound interest? Yeah, it sure does. You're not dealing with as many numbers, but it's absolutely something that you can use in your day-to-day life. And that's why I like this particular logarithm formula. Well, that's all the time we have for you. So I guess we got this week's Brain Twizzlers coming at me, which is why, okay. So, for this week's Brain Twizzler, let's do this. What shape does this make? And you can use your graphing calculator, or you can get on the internet and type this into a gazillion math operations websites. I don't mind. I prefer it that you do that so you know what we're dealing with. What shape does this make? And what is that shape called? What shape does this make? And what is that particular shape called? Well, thank you so much for joining me here on Math Madness. I'm your host, Matt Matherson. We'll see you next time here on Math Madness.